Welcome to a special edition of our cord cutting Q&A. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm live right here on YouTube answering your cord cutting related questions. Sometimes, though, questions can't really be answered during the Q&A in depth. As I'm talking, people are asking questions, I'm trying to read the chats flying by, and I can't really spend 10-15 minutes on a particular group of questions because then 30 people would be upset I didn't answer their question. So today I really want to take a minute and dive into two related questions I get all the time. What's the best streaming player, Roku or Fire TV? What's the future? Who's going to win the long-term streaming battle, Roku or Fire TV? It's very interesting. If you want an Apple, you usually want an Apple. You're not going to really consider the others. Android TV is kind of the same way. But I get asked a lot, Roku versus Fire TV. Should I get Roku? Should I get Fire TV? People want to know. They want to know which is best. And that's very interesting to me that those are the ones I get the most questions about. So I wanted to dive into that, but first I want to say special thanks to Toast.net, an internet provider in the United States that's offering a special deal to Cord Cutters News readers. They're offering $5 off every month for the first year of their 18 down speeds or faster plans. This includes their new fiber plans. They're available in tons of states across the United States. I'll put a link to their site down below where you can go check that out. But if you want $5 off every month off their internet plan, use promo code CORDCUT17, all one word, CORDCUT 17 at the end there. I'll put that in the show notes down below. But thank you for your support there. I would check them out. No data cap, US customer support, and a special deal for Cord Cutters News readers and YouTube subscribers. But now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into this week. So which is better, YouTube or Roku, or the Fire TV? Here on YouTube, we're going to talk about that. That's a tough one. And I get to ask this all the time. It feels like a Q&A doesn't go by or a week doesn't go by. Sometimes a day doesn't go by, I don't get asked that. And the truth is, I don't think either one is perfect for everyone. Just like with YouTube TV, Sling TV, PlayStation View, Hulu, and more, there's no one service that's going to be right for everyone, right? I could like a group of channels and you'll like a different group of channels. So I may say YouTube TV is perfect for me. You may say Sling or PlayStation View or DirecTV Now is perfect for you. I may actually like Fubo or Philo as my main one. You may like Hulu, and that's fine. There is no wrong case in that. And the same goes with streaming players. If you're an iTunes user, the Apple TV is the device for you. If you're not an iTunes user, you may say, Apple TV is not for me. I want more access or control to my content. Through a Roku or Fire TV, because I primarily use Amazon, for example. And the same is true here. I think the Fire TV and Roku both are great devices and both offer something to somebody. Now we can get into arguments about, the Fire TV remote's the best, or hey, I don't like the quick buttons on a Roku remote, or Roku subscribers may say, hey, I love having a Netflix and a Hulu quick launch button because I use them. I can press one button and I'm launching a Netflix, press one button and I'm launching a Hulu. There's nothing wrong. Both those arguments are legitimate and really great. What I would say, if you're trying to make a decision which one is right, which one's best, it really comes down to what you want. Ask yourself, which services do you want to use? For example, Roku has an official YouTube TV channel. The Amazon Fire TV does not. They have workarounds for YouTube through their browser. That's pretty good. I don't think it's quite as good as an official one like on Roku, Android TV, or Apple TV. And on the flip side of it, the Fire TV has services that the Roku doesn't. The new Fire TV DVR Recast is a really great device out there for transmitting it. Roku does have Tableau and others, so keep that in mind. But the Fire TV does have Twitch, which Roku has an unofficial Twitch app, but not an official one like the Fire TV. And I could go on and on. So I would say, really kind of say, hey, here's the 5 or 10 services I want, and are they on the device? NewsOn, a great service to stream locals, is only on the Roku for NewsOn, stream local news and more. So ask yourself, which one offers what services I want? And that, for 90% of people, will answer your question. If you're still thinking, okay, both of them have what I want, I think it really comes down to user interface. Some people will love Roku because it's super simple. It's not flashy, it's not shiny, it's no Apple-esque highly polished, but it's super, super simple. Other people will be like, hey, that's ugly. I don't care how simple it is, it's ugly. And they may say, hey, I like the Fire TV. Roku users may say, hey, Fire TV has too many ads on the home screen. Feels like there's ads everywhere on the home screen. And Fire TV users may say, hey, those aren't ads, those are recommended content. I kind of like Amazon suggesting things to watch or try. So I think it really comes down to the user interface and the remote. Some people are going to say, hey, I wish there was a more traditional D-pad. The circular thing confuses my grandparents when they come over. Other people are going to say, hey, the Roku remote, I hate those quick buttons. I always bump them. I don't like them. So ask yourself, does this device have what you want? If both are yes, then ask yourself, does things like having a Netflix button on the remote, is that a plus or negative to you? Is having the more directional D-pad on there a plus or negative to you? And lastly, ask yourself about personal assistants. Roku now integrates with the Google Home product. So if you have a Google Home throughout your house and you want to control your Roku through it, that's an option. If you have a bunch of Echoes and you want to use the Surface, her name starts with an A. I won't say it because everybody complains because I activate their Echoes at home. Maybe you want Fire TV because she's fully integrated with the Fire TV there. So keep that in mind. Those are the three things I would suggest checking out. I think for the most part, the Fire TV and the Roku really do offer everything you want. With that said, though, I know it's not right for everybody. Some people are going to say, hey, Apple TV is perfect for me. Some people are going to say, hey, Roku is perfect for me. Leave me a comment. I'll love to know which one do you pick and why. And let's just remember to be civil about this conversation because people get really heated about, hey, Fire TV's the best, Roku's the best, you're all idiots. I get that. I get it. It's a personal connection. But let's be civil because what's right for you isn't going to be right for me or somebody else. So let me know, which one did you pick? The next part of these questions I get a lot is, what's the future? Who's going to win? Fire TV or Roku? They're both great streaming players. They're both great devices, and they're both pulling away from the competition. According to a recent in-house survey, Roku now controls 70% of our readership, so 70% of the core crime market. The Fire TVs jumped to 40. Well, I found very interesting. There's a lot of crossover. Have a Roku in the living room, Fire TV in the bedroom, for example, or the other way around. What is interesting, though, is Morgan Stanley has jumped in with an update on this that's almost exactly in line with what our surveys show. Our surveys have been showing that Roku hasn't been growing. They've been staying around 70, 73% of the market share. Fire TV's been slowly edging up. It's now up to 40, up from 35 this summer. So the fall survey is at 40% Fire TV penetration versus 35% amongst our readers. And Morgan Stanley said the same thing. Amazon's market share is growing. Roku's market share is staying steady. That doesn't mean they're not selling new devices because the market's growing. Roku's just controlling the same percentage, and that percentage now represents more devices. So keep that in mind. So what does this mean for the future? Well, Apple is not growing according to our internal surveys. Android TV is there, but it's very small compared to the others. Chromecast, game systems, all that's out there too, but way behind the Fire TV and the Roku market for when it comes to dominating streaming in the living room. Roku has a huge share. I don't think Roku is in any danger of being overtaken by Amazon anytime soon. With that said, Amazon has an incredibly effective marketing and sales machine. Of course, they now own Whole Foods, and they're pushing Fire TVs and all that at Whole Foods. They have Amazon.com, and it seems like you can't even search for a Roku and not see a Fire TV ad somewhere on the banner or something. Home screens, it's just everywhere out there. Roku has a pretty aggressive marketing machine too, and Roku's in Walmart where the Fire TVs aren't. I did have a very interesting thing this week though. I was at Best Buy buying the Recast when it came out this week because mine was delayed in delivery, didn't get there until much later in the day, and I wanted it now to review it. So I went to Best Buy, the huge display, center main aisle, huge Fire TV display with Echoes and all kinds of stuff, huge displays in the end caps in the home entertainment section, all around the Fire, with Roku's head go down the aisle, all around the Roku's were Fire TVs. Walked up to the checkout counter, and behind the counter of the Fire TV were boxes and boxes of Fire TVs. Hundreds, I'm not kidding, hundreds of Fire TVs just lined up against the wall behind the countertop and the cash register area at Best Buy. And as I was waiting in line, I talked to a manager there, and I asked her, like, hey, are those all Fire TVs? Are those really all full of them? She said, yeah, we just got a big shipment in. We get shipments like this, regularly, she said. I asked her about Roku. How's Roku doing? And her response was, it sells well, but not as well as the Fire TV. And some of that may be because Best Buy and Amazon have struck a deal. Best Buy is now one of the official sellers of the Fire TV smart TVs now from like Toshiba. There's another brand out there. Maybe I'm not Toshiba. Whatever the brand is, I'm blanking out on the name. The two brands are making Fire TV Edition smart TVs. But Roku's are there, but you have to go down the aisle. It's not quite as up front and center as the Fire TVs. So, and then you got Whole Foods and you got Amazon. So Amazon has a huge machine pushing these devices out. Roku does too, but just not in the same way as the Fire TV. There is a great saying though, Walmart is still extremely dominated in tech and everything. And being in Walmart and not having the Fire TV sold at Walmart is probably helping Roku. So, what do I think is going to happen in the future? Well, after seeing Best Buy, there's no argument that the strength of the Fire TV sales is very good. They're selling them cheap, they're making a decent product, and they have great partnerships out there. Roku, though, has such a huge strength, has a really loyal fan base, and they are still doing very well with all kinds of people who want a super simple device. Roku has also announced 1 in every 4 smart TVs sold in the United States now runs the Roku OS. That's huge. That is really an important note there to remember, that Roku is so big that they are able to say 1 in 4 smart TVs. So it seems like Roku is really doubling down on the idea that the future of their service is Roku TVs. And Roku players are still going to be important, they're still going to sell them, but Roku TVs is the future. So what does that mean? I don't know. I think I could paint a scenario here where Roku is going to be dominant in the future, thanks to their partnerships on TVs, having so many brands make Roku TVs. I could say, hey, Amazon's such a juggernaut out there that eventually they could, just by sheer force with their partnerships with Best Buy, ownership of Whole Foods, and Amazon.com, push the Fire TV out there to so many people and really dominate it. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Well, I'm interested to know, which one do you think is going to dominate it? Because I don't think there's any wrong answers here. I really do think that it's an open argument. I would say, though, the argument has really come down to Fire TV versus Roku fighting it out. Apple TV is not going to go anywhere. Android TV is not going to go anywhere anytime soon, at least. And even at only 25% of the market share, Apple, that's a very fast growing, very profitable area to be in. I think Apple is doing fine. Even at the smaller Android TV, that's fine. But I think Fire TV and Roku really are the two top dogs right now to beat, and I don't think they're going to be giving up that role anytime soon. So, I want to know from you, which one do you own now? Why? Which one do you think is going to win? Is it going to be the Amazon juggernaut? Is it going to be the Roku's open market there, where they're just kind of letting everybody on their platform, as long as you're a legal service, out there? Which one's going to win in the long run? And let me know. And which one would you, if you had to put money down on it? Okay, we're not going to take any bets, no betting, but theoretically, if you had to put your money where your mouth was, who do you really think is going to win? That's what I want to know right now. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. I think in a year, I'm going to try to update this video and say, hey, which one is going to be there? If I had to put a prediction down, which one's going to win, I don't think we're going to change. I think Roku has got such a huge lead and their sales are continuing to grow. I think Roku's going to continue to dominate. And I think it's interesting to remember that Roku's main profit margin is not selling the devices. It's the ads and the features that come with it. Subscriptions and more through the Roku. This is where they make most of their money. That's why they're basically giving away the OS to TV manufacturers. Amazon also doesn't make a majority of their money off the selling the device, but off the buying movies, buying TV shows, Amazon channel subscriptions, and more. So I think it's very interesting that both of them don't make a majority of the money on the device. They're making a majority of the money on everything else. So keep an eye on that. But I think for now, if I put my money down, Roku a year from now will maintain a lead. I think Fire TV will continue to close, but I don't think Roku is going to be overtaken in the next year. I could be wrong. But I think the TV sales, the strong sales of TVs for Roku will help keep them in the lead. All right, everybody, there are 2 very common questions I get. Hopefully this answered a lot of questions. Hopefully this starts a fun discussion. I don't know. Let me know what you think of these special Q&As where I can really dive deep into a couple topics and answer your related questions. I'll put a link to a story down below where you can read more about this if you want to learn more, and a link to our the deal for the toast.net to get $5 off every month for the first year on their fiber plans and their DSL plans over 18 down. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great day. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. We appreciate your support.